Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another free webinar. My name is Yana. We have Christina here today as well. Today we are going to be talking about Christina's new health and wellness program. It's called Amplify, and I'm very excited to talk about it today because I've actually had the pleasure to try it out, and I think it's brilliant. It's very simple and very rewarding, but we'll talk a little bit more about it in just a sec. Hi, Christina.
Hey, I'm excited to get on and talk about it. Yeah, it's been an interesting process, especially like even going through the whole program with you. And yeah, I'm excited to talk a little bit more about it and give everybody some information.
Awesome. Well, let's start off. What is Amplify? That is the name. Give us a brief overview of the program.
Yeah, so Amplify is a 4-week online program and it's progressive. And it's all about establishing really solid habits in your morning and your evening routine, in addition to your movement patterns and your eating patterns, to give you a really going from, I guess, kind of the first week of eliminating kind of like the not so great stuff to building a strong foundation, to adding a little bit more strength, a little bit more anti-inflammatory foods, a little bit more brain foods, and then finally really developing a solid routine that's personalized for you at the end of the 4-week program. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's very brief, but.
Well, I know you mentioned it's a 4-week program. Do you want to give us a breakdown of like what each week entails, what one is to expect?
Yeah. So, and you can chime in at any point because you have been involved in it.
Yeah.
So I've divided the program into 4 components: eat, sleep, move, and create. And because we do those every day anyway. And so we really want to establish a really strong foundation of eating foods that are really good for us, eliminating foods that are bad for us, and consistently, oh, I'm just gonna add somebody in, consistently like building on a strong foundation of positive foods, foods that are contributing to our energy and our strength, and then also movement. We'll start out with a little bit of yoga, a little bit of exercise, and then we'll build on that every week. I have yoga videos and different things that you can dive into. I will be giving you information on how to really decipher what's great for your body and also what's going to help you fulfill your goals, because everybody's different, which I find this program really caters to people differently. And then with sleep, we go over patterns that are going to allow you to get 8 hours and also have a really high quality of sleep as well. And then last but not least, one of my favorites, inspired by you as well, is creativity. How do we inspire creativity? Maybe by doing daily things to promote a little bit more clarity, whether it's meditation or morning pages. I'll give you different habits you can start to integrate into your life to inspire more creativity and perhaps discover some passions and dive into those as well. So it's a progressive system where the first week is about establishing or more eliminating kind of the bad habits out of your life and establishing a strong foundation. The second week is about starting to integrate more positive patterns and habits in how you move and how you eat and how you rest and recover. And then the third week is even getting stronger with any of those patterns, really making it a solid pattern, making it personal, like adding in possibly a little bit more yoga, a little bit more movement, a little bit more exercise. And then the last week is all about optimization. You figured out what's good for you. You figured out what's right. You've eliminated what's bad. And now you're on this optimization trajectory for really having really strong habits of your mind and body.
Yeah, I think that's why I like the program itself, is that it's very basic. It touches all the different aspects that everybody does throughout the day, eating, sleeping, some form of exercise, the creative aspect, I think maybe some people are tapping into. But I think what I appreciate about it is that it's not a to-do list of like, this is how it must be done. I like the fact that, you kind of let the person use their intuition to really figure out what is working and what is not working for them. on an individual basis and really becoming more efficient and effective with the daily plan of your daily habits, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like
Yeah.
from health coaching and doing different things with different kinds of people throughout like the 20 years I've been in wellness is that everybody is totally different. And I want to teach you how to decipher what's good for your body and what's not good for your body, and to give you tools to personalize your programs in a very effective way and to help you reach your goals. So yeah, I do think that the 4-week program, even though it is online and in your own time, I really try to give you guidelines on how to think, not exactly like what to eat in specific, a specific schedule, and it's not too strict. It's really like discovering your own plan. So.
Well, I know for me, one of the greatest benefits that I've noticed from doing this program is that it kind of helped me to check into the areas that I don't want to say numbed out, but maybe haven't been paying attention to. And I realized that that slight little shift really affected my creativity level. And that's all I needed was like this gentle little push or reminder. So that's one of my benefits, is that I've become actually more creative in the process. What would you recommend, or what would you say are some of the benefits that people can expect from this program?
Well, I think exactly what you were saying. It's like we all want to live with high energy, living our purpose and passion. And if we don't have a clear mind or a rested body, or we're not moving regularly, I think it's really easy to get in kind of almost a spiral where you're not moving forward. So what I think the benefits of this program is that you're establishing really positive habits to reduce your inflammation, to increase your energy, to increase your strength, to increase your mobility, to really find some clarity, possibly with yoga, a little bit of meditation, to really optimize your rest and recovery. So when you are back on it, you do feel really like you feel light, you feel focused, you feel creative, you feel ready. It also helps. I find that if kind of our body and mind are in balance, you can really tap into that flow state or that optimum performance for life, where you really feel like you're onto it and you're flowing and you're playing and it's all working out really well. So I feel like this program allows you to develop habits to help that nice balance, and also help you kind of really achieve that strength and clarity in your mind and body. And
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I
possibly
mean,
because you are reducing inflammation and you are optimizing your recovery, achieving the perfect weight is a little bit easier, which actually leads to a lot of different health benefits, and also just feeling better in your body. It allows you to get out more. So yeah, a lot of kind of side benefits as well.
so stronger, more clear, lighter, more creative. I mean, I feel like the list does go on with the
Yeah.
benefits of this program. Um, Now, I mean, for me, the program worked out great. I really enjoyed it. And I do feel that just about anybody could do it, but do you have a specific audience for the Amplify program, or do you feel like anybody from my parents or your parents to, an all-star athlete can do the health and wellness program?
Yeah, so that's interesting. And we were talking about like it being really simple, but almost like the one thing I think that a lot of my clients have in common is that they're self-motivated, and they wanted to try different things in order to inspire their health and wellness, and possibly people going through a transition, whether it's with a job, whether it's like with an age. And they want to kind of reach that next level. Somebody who's been possibly kind of cruising for a little while. I was like, you know what? I really need to reevaluate, kind of inspire some more creativity. Maybe actually like really take a look at my diet, because some things that were working for me, in the last couple of years aren't working for me anymore. I could get some tips on that. People who have either done yoga or are just starting yoga, I think it's perfect because I do give you challenges. And I know, based on what you do, we have a lot of the same background in health and well-being, including yoga. But I do find that, just having a kind of a structured program an accountability for yourself, and kind of checking in and starting to add in different habits is kind of what I find that my clients are looking for. They're looking for, just if they've been kind of cruising for a little while, they're looking to kind of recreate themselves or reestablish some new habits in order to develop themselves a little bit further.
Yeah, I
So
like that you said that, being self-motivated. I think that's a
yeah,
huge factor, especially because it is an online program. And even though, you're there, like I was able to communicate and like ask you questions if I had, but it was one of those things where it's like, here's what you need to do, become a little bit more intuitive, pay attention to your habits, and really, draw out that a little bit of that extra time throughout the day, to stop and check in on, your rest, or your hunger levels, or even just your energy levels, things like that. And I think that does involve being a little bit self-motivated, and
yeah,
wanting to either change something or to incorporate something to better yourself, to better your lifestyle, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and I
definitely.
know that, the program, the major things that it's focusing on is your eating, your sleeping, the way that you're moving, and also your creative habits, or your hobbies, if you will. Tell us why you find that these four things are important to focus on, and why we should focus on them.
Yeah, so it was interesting when we were just talking, Yada and I were just talking about this earlier. I kind of started, I guess, since I've been doing nutrition coaching, and then I've also been doing, last year I did some work with some kind of pre-Olympic athletes that were, between the ages of like 10 and 17. And I was trying to figure out what's super easy, what they do every day that they could optimize, which is eating, sleeping, moving, and they're in school, so it was like creativity. So I was like,
Mm,
okay, what do we do every day that we can either eliminate the bad stuff and then bring in more of the good stuff, and then also try to optimize or increase the energy levels or increase the performance levels. So that's where I came up with Eat, Sleep, Move, Create. And I do also find another reason is in my health coaching career, when I do what's called the Perfect Diet Program, where I give people 3 sessions and we kind of walk through their what they're doing now, what's their optimum nutrition, and we kind of tweak it along the way. And
mhm.
but by doing that, just the nutrition program, we always dive into what kind of exercise right, what kind of movements right, what kind of yoga is right, how are you sleeping? If you're not sleeping very well, we have to address that too, because that's a big thing with achieving the perfect weight and also achieving high performance in sport and life, is really achieving that optimum rest. So I feel like whatever you're addressing, whether it's high performance with those athletes, whether it's nutrition and weight loss, whether it's just like being clear and focused, those 4 aspects really, if you can optimize those, you can really have a high level of performance, flow state, clarity, energy. So yeah, that's kind of how I dove into those 4 factors, because one, we do them every day and we can either do them well or not that well.
I
So
think I think that's why I love this program so much, is that it is it's a very balanced program. I feel that previous programs that I've tried out, they tend to focus either just on eating or nutrition, or just on exercise or whatever, or just on creativity. And I like for the fact that you harness like kind of all of these things together. And to really, I think this is the most important part of the program, is to see how that everything is interrelated, and that one thing affects the other, absolutely, without a doubt. Like how you sleep affects how you eat affects how you perform. And because that, this program focuses on all things, I think what you just said, finding your flow state, finding that by changing slight habits throughout the day on how you eat, how you sleep, how active you are, just slight difference change in those things can really affect how you perform. Doesn't matter what you do. And I feel like
yeah,
if you're an athlete, if you're a doctor, whatever it is, that it will amplify your performance with whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're focused on.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, how do we create optimum vitality to do the things that we want to do, whether it's
Yeah.
painting or running or just work or taking care of kids, whatever it is, you really want to
Mhm.
have enough energy to do what you want to do. So I find that by creating habits that are working towards your goals. And God, to tell you the truth, the first week, the elimination week of deciding what habits are not good for you is so integral because you could be, with my experience, I was eating like all the right foods and doing all the right things, I thought, and it was not working for me at all. But I wasn't really listening to my body. I was just listening to other people being like, you should do this, you should do this. So I feel like
Which
with
is
my
huge. Yeah.
program, I'm teaching you how to think in a way to really personalize a system for your body. And I'm also giving you guidelines. So,
Mm. That's great. No,
yeah,
absolutely. I like that. That's about finding what works for you, not necessarily just listening to what's out there.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think the most interesting part about this program that I'm excited about too is that there's creativity and there's the health and wellness aspect of it. Why did you decide to focus on both in this program?
So interesting. I feel like, is what we were just talking about before that. In the last couple of years, I feel like we've gone down this path of like lost hobbies. Like, I don't know
Mm,
why. It's either the hobby becomes like a hustle, or we don't have time for it, or becomes our job. But we have this thing about, or I guess we're transitioning hopefully out of this time where creativity time or exploration time or producing art or doing something that you're passionate about. I think we need to make time for that. And sometimes we don't even know how to dive into that or what that is.
mm,
So I've come up with ideas along with reading a bunch of books about how to inspire creativity, starting with one of the books that Yana and I adore called The Artist's Way, by Julia Cameron. And she's amazing, but she has a bunch of different tools to start to kind of get into a little bit of the artist within. And Yana and I, when we were kind of putting together both of our programs, Yana has a creativity program, and obviously I have this wellness program, is we were talking about how synergistic, um, if you feel good, you can create whatever in whatever aspect it is, whether it's work, family, or art. You can
mm.
create better. Your mind is more open, you're more clear, and I feel like those two are so synergistic. And I definitely wanted to bring back the part of the passionate part, the creative part, because we all have an artist inside, as we
Yes.
know. It just depends on how that can come out into the world. So I want to help you not only create the well-being in your mind and your body, but also allow you to kind of explore, like, hey, what is that other aspect that I might not have tapped into that I can start to engage in?
Yeah.
So,
I think that playfulness is really important with how we function throughout, our lives and how open we are to even trying out new things, whether it's food or, maybe take a painting class. But you're absolutely right. I do believe that a lot of people have put their hobbies or their passions on the back burner, that it's they don't put it on their priority list. It's like maybe you have your work, your family, whatever it is, all these things, and whatever hobbies that you have are kind of left to fit in wherever they fit, if they do fit. And
yeah,
I think that making the time for it is the most important part, and that's why I really love your program, is that it provides the space you make time for, to open your mind, open your
yeah.
heart a little bit, and become a little, I don't know, more fun or more creative
Yeah. It's
in your
exploring
day.
that kind of like inner child, and like also like diving into
Yeah.
something that you like could develop, that produces uh, a sense of joy and wonder. And then that brings that curiosity. And then that can spill over into different parts of your day and in your life and with your work. And then also, yeah, if you feel good and you have energy and um, you have a high state of health and wellness, I mean, that creativity is just flowing and open. So I feel like they're so synergistic, and that creativity isn't a part of a lot of people's habits right now. And I really
Yeah.
want to start to integrate just, yeah, space for that to come in.
Yeah. And I think, one of the most important things that, and I've had this talk with my partner's dad actually, is that, creativity doesn't mean that you need to pick up a paintbrush, or that are a photographer, or whatever it is that you think of when you think of artists, that you can become creative and artistic in the way that you do simple things, like your cooking, if you're paying
Yeah,
attention to your habits and what you're making, that can open up like a whole new realm of, hey, I'm going to prepare this fun dinner tonight because I realize now I want to cook with green beans because they make me feel good,
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever it
exactly.
is. There's creativity in the simplest tasks that we do throughout the day. So, and it's all about just, I think, being open to whatever it is um, that you want to try out,
Yeah.
and yeah.
And I think that creativity, like you said, it doesn't have to be like you pick up a paintbrush. It's like you could be exploring different recipes. I mean, and today, I was going out on a little hike. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to like go on this other path. It's just like different things like that. It's like choosing a different path, or going a different way, or being like, oh, I'm going to, look at different, um, different other people's art and get
Mhm.
inspired by that. It can be
Yeah.
clothes, it can be anything. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think creativity is very, very broad. So
Yes.
yeah.
But we'll talk about more of that next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, for those that are watching, where is the best way
So
to
yeah, so on
go
my
into your program?
swellfitliving.com, I have the Amplify program, and you can purchase it from there. It is all on Teachable, which is awesome, and it goes by week, which is really cool as well. And then you can dive into each week is split into sections, so you can do it at your own pace. You can also book one-on-one coaching with me. I do recommend to do possibly one session when you're doing that program with me. I think it'd be awesome, and I can give you a little bit of insight on different things that you're doing. And yeah, that'll be a good little addition if you want to do that. So you can get to it on my Swellfit Living website.
Awesome.
Yay! And
Well, is
then
there anything else that you wanted to
no, I
share?
think that's good. And my big goal with Amplify is to reach more people, and then also give people an idea and a kind of a self-motivated program to do.
Mm.
So they can do it at their own speed. They can do it, with me or without me. And I just really want to give people the tools on how to think and how to navigate different transitions in their life, and knowing what's serving them and what's not serving them, and really increasing people's vitality is a big mission of mine. So, and next week with your program, it
Yeah.
goes right in line with the creativity portion. If you want to talk just a little bit about your program, what we can expect for what you're bringing out.
Well, so my program is called The Rattle. Very important reason why it's called The Rattle is that it's simply to be played with. And that's what the program is about. It's becoming more playful throughout the day, throughout the week. We focus on, again, it's kind of similar to yours, but we focus on observing patterns, but we do it through being outdoors. So connecting with nature, noticing patterns that are in nature, and then reflecting back on our own personal patterns and how we could work with that in a creative way, in an artistic way. It's really fun. It's really playful, and it's free. That's kind of the best part. But I guess we'll talk a little bit more about it next week in detail. But that's just kind of the little introduction to the program.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, you guys. And I will sign off, but we will be in touch next week and hope to see you there.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a great day.